Westmoreland Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, first, let me say yes, we do support the extension for two reasons. One, we're seeing the obvious reduction in crime based on the presence of the security forces. But the other reason is that because the ZOZO has not yet fulfilled what was promised. And there was a developmental part of the ZOZO for the different communities. And what we are seeing in Savlamar, for example, is that we have seen the low-hanging fruits being picked up. So like stuff like the treats and the Labor Day activities, but the major development activities, for example, the roads and the drainage and the sidewalk stuff to improve the level of pride in these communities, this has not been touched. And the ZOZO was not designed to last forever. And it was designed or proposed in a way sustained with crime reduction. Developmental aspect being put in place, I think
that affected the communities who are now under zones of special operations. We forget that Jamaica is coming from a very chronic murder problem. And I hear now that murders have been reduced to a particular level, I hear persons want to make changes even though we have not yet completed the journey. These communities are still vulnerable communities. I also hear Dr. Chang their comments about the actions of the police, and no one on this side would sanction extrajudicial killings. But except for the member from East Portland, I heard nobody from that side talking about the victims of murders that have taken place over the last several days. And I rise because it bothered me, because there's a teacher from Prospect Primary who was murdered yesterday, or I think the day before yesterday. A specialist math teacher. We don't have a lot of those. I don't hear anybody talking about him. And while we are here in Parliament speaking about changes, and I hear persons criticizing the Firearms Act, saying, why are we so anti-guns? Not realizing that guns are the fundamental problem that has affected this country for decades. So now we have achieved so much with ZOZO, we don't need it anymore. So next time we shouldn't come here with an extension for 6 months. I do not support that conversation, because the problem is still there. And while murders are down by over 50% in the last 2 years, we want it to go much lower, Dr. Chang. So, Dr. Chang, when you were coming with your strategy, Dr. Chang, and you were under pressure, they say you were the sleeping security minister. They never supported the state of emergency when you brought them in to reduce murders as a shock effect. They never supported it. Initially, they watered down the ZOZO bill. Remember the debate I was watching? So now that we have had our hard-earned successes, and places like Augustown and Denham Town are getting a respite from the murders, now is not the time to turn back, Dr. Chang. This government takes credit. This government takes credit for the significant reduction in murder in this country. This government had a strategy led by the Prime Minister Andrew Michael Holness. And when we were promulgating this strategy, we had to fight hard in this house to get it. They say we never have no crime plan. Where is the crime plan? Was the Echo everyday editorials, front page news. And I'm not going to sit here, Dr. Chang, as a young member of this house and allow them to rewrite history. So I stand here in support of the ZOZO, and I want you to extend it, and do not allow them to distract you from your strategy, Dr. Chang.
Minister Chang, The member from St. Andrew Southwest is just asking for a moment.
Madam Speaker, I'm seeking your permission to join the conversation for a quick clarification that
You ever stood in a bank line so long, you started making friends? You know their whole life story before you even reach the counter? Well, those days are done for me.